The events in this program are inspired by a true story. Names, dates, and details have been changed. Viewer discretion is advised. On this episode of Bizarre Murders, Britney and her mother Mitsy are desperate for fame.
Ready to rehearse?
How do I look?
And they'll do almost anything to get it.
Have you ever cheated?
Uh-oh.
But when one of them goes missing in the dead of night, police are left wondering if the price of superstardom is too high. Britney is a 25-year-old former beauty queen who works as a cocktail waitress and dreams of becoming a famous actress. And the only one who wants this dream to become reality more than her
You ready to rehearse?
How do I look?
is her mother, Mitsy.
Would you like fries with that?
No, I don't believe that at all.
Mitsy is a single mother who works double shifts at the local diner, having been passed over by the superstardom gods.
Who's gonna be a superstar?
Hi.
You are.
Mitsy has determined her own daughter will climb the ladder and join the Hollywood elite at the top.
Oh my God, Mom. Don't touch my hair. I spent like an hour getting it to look this good.
Sorry, there's just this one hair.
I said stop.
Brittany.
You come across a lot of dysfunctional relationships in my line of work, but this mother and daughter duo takes the cake. Britney is a spoiled kid who thinks her mother is put there for the sole purpose of making her a star. And Mitsy is your typical overbearing stage mother who's determined to manage her daughter's career with an iron fist. The sad thing is, it's not all that uncommon in Hollywood. Remember Lindsay Lohan and her mother? Need I say more?
Britney's boyfriend Connor is a handsome but shy driving instructor who grew up around the corner.
Yeah, I saw him in the store. I thought I'd buy him, surprise you.
Connor worships the ground Britney walks on and showers her with gifts.
Well,
Connor,
yes?
Brittany's getting ready
What?
for an audition.
But I just wanted to just...
Goodbye. Britt, you can do better.
I know, but he buys me nice things.
You need to find someone famous to buy you nice things. Besides, those flowers were cheap. Set your sights higher.
Mitzi's a true tiger mom who's not letting anything get in the way of Britney's success. Least of all, a driving instructor with no game. But that kind of pressure can weigh heavily on a kid. They may end up succeeding. Heck, they may end up exceeding their mother's expectations. But the question is, at what cost?
But despite the number of auditions Britney goes to,
You're kidding.
she continues to be rejected.
Did you get the part?
No.
That's ridiculous! Why can't they see that you're a star?
Chocolate? No.
Britney continues to audition and continues to be rejected.
Why don't they like me?
Those director types are shallow and self-centered. They can't see past themselves. They don't know what they're missing.
Go away.
But just when Britney is ready to give up on her dream of becoming a superstar, she gets a call that changes her life.
I got it? Oh my God! I got it! Yes! I got it! Yes!
But it's not quite the award-winning role she'd been hoping for.
Oh, what? It's to be a contestant on a game show.
So? Are you gonna be on TV?
Yeah.
Then we'll take it!
Stage mom Mitsy isn't too concerned at this point. what role Britney lands. Much like Mama Kardashian, she seems to subscribe to the view that there's no such thing as bad publicity. And even an unknown game show could be their ticket to stardom and financial freedom.
The show is called The Truth Hurts, where contestants are hooked up to a polygraph machine and asked a series of questions. With each truthful answer, they win more money.
Okay! Britney, we're really glad to have you here. Let's start off slow to warm you up. Have you ever called in sick to work?
Yes.
And has she answered honestly, folks? Alrighty then! Next question. Have you ever flirted with a customer for a bigger tip?
Yes.
Britney, you've got that star quality. The audience loves you, the camera loves you. All right, let's heat things up a little. Have you ever had surgery to enhance your looks?
Well,
Yes.
I got a boob job.
Oh.
Seems like easy money for admitting to a couple of minor transgressions. But in my experience, there's no such thing as a free lunch, and you and I both know that in the era of reality TV, there's gotta be a catch somewhere.
The show is a huge success. And not only does Britney win loads of cash, the exposure catapults her to a solid C-list celebrity.
I told you, the world would recognize a star once they saw it.
Both Britney and Mitsy quit their day jobs and focus on getting Britney's face on the cover of every magazine.
Sorry, Connor. It's over.
She immediately dumps Connor and starts dating a fellow reality star.
Oh my God, Mom! It's him!
Answer it.
Answer it!
Britney and Mitsy have achieved their dream. Not only is Britney newly famous, but they have money to boot. This dynamic duo believes that the gravy train has finally started running and there's no stopping it now. But we live in a world where celebrities come and go as fast as cold beer on a hot summer day, and there's always someone newer and younger clawing at your heels. If you're smart, you'll parlay your 15 seconds into a fortune fast, but if you're not, well, you'll just end up another Hollywood has-been.
Hoping to capitalize on Britney's newfound fame, her mother keeps her schedule packed with auditions and interviews. So when Britney misses an appointment for a starring role in a new reality show, Mitsy is furious.
What do you mean she didn't show up?
But when Britney doesn't come home that night, Mitsy fears the worst. She calls 911 to report her daughter missing.
no, she hasn't been missing for 24 hours. But do you know who my daughter is? Does Britney the Vixen ring a bell?
When they refuse to take her seriously, Mitsy turns to social media. News of Britney's disappearance spreads like wildfire.
Thank you for seeing me.
When the mainstream media grabs hold of the headlines, the police finally take Mitsy's concerns seriously.
Is this your daughter?
Of course it's her. That's me in the background.
Detective Pablo tells Mitsy that her daughter's car was found parked outside the latest Miami hotspot. In it, they found Britney's purse and phone.
Found in there, but she was nowhere to be found.
My Britney. Where's my Britney?
So there's two ways of looking at this scenario. One, Britney went out clubbing, went home with some guy and is sleeping off her hangover somewhere in the city. The other is that she's a victim of foul play. And over the course of my career, when you find someone's purse and cell phone abandoned in their car, it's usually the latter.
She called me on the way to her audition, and I haven't heard from her since.
Detectives search social media looking for clues.
She hasn't posted anything in a while, and that's not like her.
In this day and age, reality stars live online. Their worth is measured by how many people follow them. So for a fame-hungry person like Britney not to post, it means that something or someone is preventing her from doing it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mitsy gets the word out in the one way she knows how.
My name is Mitsy. I'm Britney's mother. She's the star of a new game show called The Truth Hurts. I'm imploring anyone who knows anything about my daughter's disappearance to come forward.
Meanwhile, detectives work to track down every possible lead. Acting on a tip generated by Mitzi's news conference, they track Britney down to a motel room in a rough part of the city.
Police, open up! Are you alone here?
But instead of a glamorous reality TV star, he discovers a different young woman who's run away from home. Detective Pablo has exhausted all leads.
I just wanted to come to tell you myself. It wasn't her.
I know.
Until Mitsy receives a ransom note in the mail.
There was a knock on the door. I found this. I thought it was a gift from one of Britney's fans. That's the exact amount she won on the show.
Criminals usually target the children of wealthy folks, not working class people like Mitsy and Britney. Not to mention that Britney's been gone a full week now, and any kidnapper worth their salt would have been in touch sooner than this. So these are either the stupidest kidnappers on the planet, or follow-up isn't their strong point. Either way, these guys are looking like the latest version of Dumb and Dumber.
In an attempt to decipher the origins of the note, detectives take a DNA sample from the saliva on the envelope and run it through their criminal database. But Detective Pablo gets a lucky break when he notices the postmark on the envelope. It shows the letter was mailed at a nearby post office, which means that the kidnappers could be local.
Tracking down kidnappers in this day and age can prove difficult. These cowards can hide behind a million ones and zeros, which means they can be operating in another country or just down the street. But this kidnapper may be showing his age by using an old technique and snail mail to boot. But just because the letter was mailed from somewhere in Britney's neighborhood doesn't mean that's where the kidnappers are holding Britney. It could simply be a ploy to throw investigators off the track.
Why am I here?
Detectives are starting to wonder if this is a publicity stunt orchestrated by none other than Britney and her mother.
Is this a trick for you guys to get even more famous?
I would never hurt my baby. You fool.
Then, would you mind providing us with some saliva samples?
No way. You can't treat me like a common criminal.
Mitsy, it will help us with our investigation to find Britney.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Alrighty then, Britney, are you ready to roll?
Bring it on.
Ha! Have you ever cheated?
Uh-oh. Mom's not gonna like this one. Yes. In the state beauty pageant.
I hate to ask, but not really. What did you do?
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag now. I just lied about doing charity work. It was like so boring. I just couldn't do it.
Mitsy has sacrificed her whole life so that Britney can be a star. But she's just revealed on national TV that she's basically a fake do-gooder, a fact that will likely cause her to lose her coveted crown. It makes you wonder if that's enough for someone deeply invested in Britney's success, like Mitsy, to snap.
But when the DNA results found on the ransom note come in, the saliva on the envelope doesn't match Mitsy.
I told you I didn't do it, you idiot.
With Mitsy ruled out as a suspect and no further contact from the kidnappers, police are stymied. Until a waste collector stumbles upon her body during his daily pickups.
This missing persons case has just turned into a classic case of whodunit. What we have here is the work of a very angry perpetrator. To hide her body under a bunch of garbage bags shows blatant disregard, disrespect, and maybe even outright hatred for the victim.
An autopsy reveals the cause of death was by drowning. With no evidence to prove she was bound or held against her will, Detective Pablo believes she was killed shortly after she was abducted.
This is horrible. Just horrible. I don't know what I'm gonna do without my Britney.
Do you know anyone who would want to hurt her like this?
She just broke up with her boyfriend. But he's so meek. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Police bring Connor down to the station for questioning, but he denies ever seeing Britney on the day she disappeared.
She didn't love me anymore, so
But when detectives question him further, they discover some suspicious behavior. Connor reveals that he moved out of his apartment a few days after Britney went missing.
Why did you move?
because I couldn't afford it.
Their suspicion heightens when Connor tells detectives he sold his car, too.
An ex-boyfriend is always a suspect, but when he moves out of his apartment and sells his car shortly after his ex-girlfriend goes missing, well, that's a sure sign someone's getting ready to flee. And nothing says guilty like a man on the run.
Connor is given a polygraph test to determine whether or not he's telling the truth.
Do you still love Britney?
No.
Were you upset when she broke up with you?
No.
Did Britney come see you on the night she disappeared?
No.
Connor, literally, why don't you just fess up?
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to hurt her. I'm being honest.
Connor says that Britney came over to his house to pick up some money that he owed her. One drink led to 4, and they decided they were meant to be together.
I never stopped loving you. All the reality stars in the whole world could not measure up to you.
Yeah? What about your new boyfriend?
He's so yesterday.
Connor tells detectives he thought they were going to get back together and get married.
Connor, I can't marry you.
What? Why not?
Because I don't love you.
Connor, shocked and hurt, turns to leave.
Connor, wait.
but is stopped in his tracks by what Britney says next.
What about the money you owe me?
Is money all you care about?
Ow, stop it! Ah!
I didn't mean to hurt her, honest.
That's good, Connor. Now, why don't you just tell us what really happened?
Okay.
It doesn't take a lie detector to tell Pablo that Connor isn't telling the whole truth. Pure cop instinct says that Connor knocked Britney off. The real question is whether or not it was premeditated, and that's a big deal when you're standing before a judge. And it could mean the difference between whether Connor lives or bites the proverbial dust.
Detective Pablo knows Connor is lying about his encounter with Britney.
Here is a toxicology report.
And the toxicology report confirms his suspicions. There was a strong sedative in her system that would have rendered her unconscious before she drowned.
Are you ready to give it up now?
The fact that Britney was unconscious before she was drowned proves that Connor planned to kill her. In other words, it's premeditated murder, and Connor is in a whole lot of trouble. So we have means, we have opportunity, but the question cops now have to answer is, what's the motive? What would make a reserved driving instructor plot such an elaborate murder?
Okay, folks, we're upping the stakes and the money. Britney, are you ready?
Yes!
Are you a waitress in a cocktail bar?
No, I'm not. I'm actually a stripper!
I did not see that coming.
Britney, stop!
Mitsy is devastated, convinced Britney's shot at a Hollywood career is over.
Britney, Britney, Britney.
But the audience eats it up.
Okay. Are you ready for your final question? Have you ever cheated on your boyfriend?
Well, I have to be honest. Yes, I have. It was with my sugar daddy, Biggie G.
Oh, Biggie, Biggie, Biggie.
My dear, you truly are an honest person. Congratulations!
Desperation for fame and money can drive people to do unthinkable things. In her pursuit of being a star, Britney has humiliated her boyfriend on national TV. The audience may love this drama, but the casualties involve real people with real feelings who can end up with real motives for murder.
Following Britney's rejection, Connor becomes more and more isolated and unhinged.
Shut up, shut up! Shut up!
And the media hounds him non-stop. As does his bookie.
Yeah.
They want him to pay back the huge debt he owes them.
I'm gonna get you the money by next week, I promise.
The pressure mounts. Until he finally loses it. Hoping to cash in on some of her winnings to pay back his gambling debt, Connor phones Britney.
Baby, you used me to get that money. I deserve half of it at least.
Connor, you still owe me money. I earned that. It's mine. Get a life.
And that's when good old Connor finally snaps.
Later that day, Connor invites Britney to his apartment, promising to pay her the money he owes.
Okay, I'm here. Where's my money?
But instead, spikes her drink with a sedative.
Let's have a drink before we talk about that.
No thanks.
Come on, it's a mojito. It's your favorite. Go.
Whatevs, I'm going out later anyway.
What?
Once she passes out,
How does it feel to be humiliated, Britney?
Connor drags Britney towards the sink and drowns her. Then attempts to cover his tracks. And lastly, sends a fake ransom note, hoping to buy enough time to make a quick getaway.
She humiliated me on national TV. Okay? I just wanted my old life back.
Killing someone for humiliating them on national TV, even for me, that's rare. Looks like Connor's taking the meaning of reality TV to a whole new level. There's no going back.
In an attempt to lessen his sentence, Connor's lawyer tries to blame the television show The Truth Hurts. He argues it's responsible for humiliating him. But the judge doesn't buy it. Connor is found guilty of premeditated murder and sentenced to life in prison.
Britney and her mother, Mitsy, wanted fame and fortune above all else, and they weren't really concerned about who they hurt along the way. But that doesn't mean Britney deserved to die. If every fame seeker was killed for being ruthless on their way to the top, well, Hollywood would be a pretty lonely place. Just think of how many bachelors and bachelorettes that have been dumped on live TV, and not one of them have been killed by their ex. Connor may have been humiliated by Britney's confessions, but he chose to kill her because of it. That's all on him. It kind of makes you wonder if honesty really is the best policy.